bombs. It is about to happen. Get ready. Hollywood Matt Connelly with the double biceps. It is in the contract a legal requirement every single time we appear on It is Hollywood Matt Connelly with the double biceps. It is in the contract a legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. We are appearing on camera right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the chat going. The Drew is already in with the smiley face. He has won the game for today. Well done to the Drew. I haven't been live for a little while. Been doing a lot of shifts which just cover that period when I can actually get on the computer. But today we wanted to jump on here and talk about the upcoming match with Richard Bornman and Wallace Dilly. And I hope I'm saying that right, because I haven't heard anyone say that surname yet. And if I'm saying it wrong, please let me know. Dilly is what I'm going with so far. If that's wrong, tell me and I will change it. But it's going to be a huge match between these two guys, and great opportunity, huge opportunity for the rising star of Richard Bornman to get on the world stage and really showcase his skills and ability. Drew says, "Oh, are you okay? This is a good time for me." Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is the traditional sort of time that I would be aiming for. It's about 11:30 a.m. here in Adelaide during the day. But yeah, it can be very tricky to schedule everything. But today is the last day of the work that I've been doing, so I will be able to move on and do more of this, which is great because I prefer to do this than what I have been doing lately, but that's all right. Yes, I think Dilly sounds correct. I hope it is. I've been having a look at some of his videos and stuff, just trying to get a feel for what sort of arm wrestler he is. I hadn't heard of Wallace prior to this. Obviously, he is a very established and very well-rounded arm wrestler if he's getting to that level. Spermy's Ass is Creamy is here. Hello to you, sir. You've got the peace sign. We've got the bicep. We've got the prayer. And I haven't got any sunglasses. There you go. Although that's probably Dave Medner. A bit more Dave Medner-y. If you know who that is, then you are also over 40. The Drew says it's 7 p.m. in Vegas, baby. Straight down to the strip, put it all on black. Atlantis in real life says, yo. Hello to you, Atlantis. Haven't seen you for a little while. Great to see you on here. James, I actually don't know who James is. It's one of the guys in the chat. It could be Sperm's Ass is Creamy, but let's not give him his real name away if it is. Ruben Jennings is here. He says afternoon. Hello to you, Ruben. It is not afternoon here. I think it's just gone afternoon in Brisbane. Or not Brisbane. You're not in Brisbane. In Queensland. Atlanta says we're all here. It isn't 4 a.m. Yeah. Yes, well, that's right, absolutely. And we've got a clapping symbol from Spermy's Ass is Creamy. There we go. Tremendous. Atlantis, Reuben. Yes. The R-E-U and R-U-E always tricks me with your name, Reuben. I spelt it wrong about 10 times and had to continuously go back and make sure I had it correct. But yes, this time definitely much better for you guys. And after today, this will be my last day of work that I've been doing, and I'll be able to do this more often at a better time for you guys. This is the middle of the day for us, so again, like if you were working a traditional 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, you wouldn't be able to do this. But yes, what we've been doing recently with AWE and with our shows and our media stuff, we've been having the Arm Wrestling Tonight podcast, which we use as a run-up to our events, and we were doing shows 5 nights a week on that, myself and Dave Stockbridge, everybody's favorite Dave Stockbridge. And yeah, so we were able to get a lot of guests, a lot of really good people from the Australian and New Zealand scene, and people that from South Africa, and maybe some of the people that the world is not as familiar with, but are very, very good arm wrestlers. And with the right wins, they could also get to the world stage. Spermy Sounds to Screamy says, I just started my midnight shift here. It's 8 p.m. Or, I don't know. There you go, 8 o'clock for you civilian-minded individuals. Well, I did read it correctly, Spermies, and then you helped me read it even more correctly. So there you go. It's Alex. It's not Buddy Cop Robert. It's hey, Matt, hope you're having a great Thursday from myself and my girlfriend. Oh, I can see that you're trying to get me there, Alex, but unfortunately, I'm quite good at those. I haven't been caught out as of yet. I do enjoy those videos online, the compilations of people putting comments. Can you say hello to my friend Amanda Hug and Kiss or whatever? Yes, 8 o'clock p.m. Yes, we're at 2000. Welcome, Alex and Gail. Yes, I do believe that Alex's girlfriend may not exist, but that's okay, unless her name is that. There are some good ones of those out there. Wallace Dilly, Rickard Borman, our thoughts. This is the big stage. This is East versus West. This is going to be a big matchup for Rickard Borman, and we're very, very excited to see how it plays out for him. I'm trying to bring up the the promo image thing. Let me see if I can go to image. I'll go to Instagram. And I'll see if I can find it on there, because there is quite a nice poster that they've created. And let's have a look if we can find it, because they spent the time to create it. So I will look it up for them. East versus West. Arm wrestling. So you want to say arm wrestling instead of arm wrestling. East versus West. I'm not following them. All right. There it is. All right. Let's see if we can get that up there. And we'll share the screen for everybody. Who's the Drew says your name is close to Matt Connellingus. Yes, I did have some good fun nicknames when I was at school, and my favorite of which was Matt Connelly. So if you enjoyed that one, I also enjoyed that. That was my favorite one. I was obviously, it's Matt Connelly, and then it became Connors, and then it was Cauliflower somehow, and then Colonnades, which is a shopping centre here, Matt Colonnades, and then it became Matt Condomely. So we worked our way there eventually. All right. Tis Drew says Spermies. All right, let me bring up the screen here for you, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see what I'm looking at. That's the one there, and it's liked by Brett Coots. All right, so obviously you can see here Wallace Dilly on the left and Rickard Borman on the right arm, super heavyweight match. I believe Rickard is sitting around 120, 125 kilos, something like that, which is, God, I always got to do this conversion into pounds. 120 times 2.2 is 264 pounds. So, but Wallace looks like a big man as well. And I did have a look at a couple of his matches online, and to me, well, the matches I saw, he looked like a top roller, but the pins that he got, it wasn't a traditional pronation movement. It was more that he would get a cup and just sort of drag sideways, but it may have just been the opponent he was against that he was stronger than, and it allowed him to not have to add that pronation. He just sort of got the cup and just threw his body weight sideways, because it wasn't really like in a supination. It wasn't pronation. It was almost side. If you have a look at some of the matches that he's had there, he gets the cup and he's going sideways, and it almost goes. It's almost like this, but without the movement of the arm. So we'll see how Rickard combats that. I mean, if Wallace is trying to employ that style against somebody who is as strong as Rickard is, and Rickard likes to get his shoulder in behind his body to do his press, that style of movement is going to be very, very difficult to pull off, because you are literally going to be pushing straight into Rickard's frame. And unless you can break through that, it's going to be a very difficult day at the office. But obviously, Wallace is an experienced arm wrestler. He hasn't made it to this level without having the ability to move between techniques and find the right avenue for success, which is what he's going to be doing against Rickard. He's probably looking at footage. What does Rickard do? Okay, he likes to press, or he's very strong in this movement. This is the game plan that I'm going to utilize when I go up against him in this event, which is coming up fairly soon. I mean, this is just 18, not far away. We've got the Drew here. He says in goldsarm.com, which is a great website. It's absolutely good resource for arm wrestling links to a lot of info for pullers. Absolutely. It is interesting that we need a website like Gold's Arm at this point, because there are so many different factions around the world. You know, organizations, and then there's tournaments, and then there's world championships, and then there's all these sort of things that are happening arm wrestling wise around the world all at the same time. It can be very difficult to keep track of, well, when's the next thing coming up? Whereas when you've got, say, one organization or one place that's kind of overseeing everything, it makes it a lot simpler. Like, let's say the NFL, like, you know, you want to watch American football, use the NFL. There it is. It's all there. The website. You just go there. There's the teams. There's the results. Here's the upcoming season. It's all right there. Obviously, that's the one sport that's been put into that at that professional level. But it is interesting that arm wrestling, you know, there's websites out there like Gold's Arm. There's another one which ranks the top guys in the USA, which I use every now and then if I haven't heard of somebody, and I can have a quick look. I'll see if I can bring that up, actually, because it's in the Hook rankings. Yeah. So here we go. Let's share that so you guys can have a look at that. Now, this is from a few years back, obviously, but let's see if they've kept that updated. That's not what we wanted. Oh, look, there's me. I'm live right now. Where are we? I lost what I was doing. Let me see if I can get it back again. I clicked a button and it disappeared. That's all right. It'll come back. It'll be back. It's not gone forever. In the Hook rankings, that's the one I wanted. All right. And that's the page. There it is. All right, good. Now we can bring it back for everybody. Let me answer these questions first. Rickard has slimmed down. I thought he was 125 to 130 range. Yeah, I think he sits between 120 and 130, depending on probably just the time of the year, how much work he's doing. He's a very thick-set individual, big shoulders, big back, powerful hands. So he's always going to be a heavy guy. And I don't think that those kilos that he's putting on or losing would really be muscle or strength related. I think it's probably going to be more fluid, water retention, that sort of thing. So he could probably put on a couple of kilos, if he was just hydrated and eating properly and, well rested, everything like that. You step on the scale, he might be 130. But if he's working all the time, he's not eating as much, he's not as hydrated, he might be like 125, 123, something like that. I don't know. But it's usually a fairly good guide to say, I'd say between 120, 130, something like that. Especially at the bigger ends of weight, those kilos don't matter as much. They're not making as much of a significant difference. Versus if you were a very light arm wrestler, like if you were a 155-pound guy, 5 kilos, which is, 11 pounds, that's going to be a significant portion of your body. Swimmer's Answer Creamy says, look at you, Drew, using kilograms. Arm wrestling forced me to. Yes, I've had to use pounds and kilos, the conversion, the entire time I've been lifting weights, 24 years in the gym. Luckily, thankfully, most plates will say both of the measurements in there. It'll say kilos and pounds. I always just remember that 20 kilos is 45 pounds. And then if it's a bigger number, I say 100 kilos is 220 pounds. And then that's close enough for me. I can figure it out from there. Prediction for Rickard in 3 years' time. Grant Law says he'll be 3 years older. Great prediction there from Grant Law. What a tremendous Nostradamus, grant Nostradamus law. He'll be 3 years older and have a collection of East versus West belts and shirts. Well, there you go, a collection. Well, I didn't know you could get multiple belts if you're sitting in that super heavyweight weight range, unless you're really dropping down to go for that next. What's the next one down? So you got super heavyweight, which is obviously like an open weight category, but then the next weight category down is 110 kilos, which is 232 pounds or something. Yeah, if it's that, then I don't think Ricketts going to make that weight. He's a big guy. All right. Wallace is also a big guy. You can see he's very thick set, big shoulders, big, powerful man, very strong on the table, is very experienced. I think it's a great matchup for Rickett, especially for his first match on East versus West as well. Rickett could do 115. Yeah, I guess so. If he wanted to, I'm sure that he could drop down to it. Is that the next lightest belt from super heavyweight at the Drew? Be interested to know. And I'd be interested to know what Devin would walk around at without trying to get the huge size that he was getting when he went to face Levan. I just would think, like, what, in the WAL days, I mean, I wonder what he was weighing around then, because I wouldn't think that it would be that far over 115. I think maybe even he was under that. But yes, the Drew says it's 105 kilos and then 115 class. Yeah, okay. And then it's open weight, I'm guessing, after that. But that is where the big dogs lie in the super heavyweight part of the world. And that's where you'll find guys like Levan, Saganashvili. You'll find Devin when he gets up there and decides that he wants to chase the number one arm wrestler in the world. And we saw 2 tremendous matches between Levan and Devin. Even though the score was 6-0 both times, the fun, the atmosphere, the build-up was did so much for arm wrestling, and it was an incredible thing to see. Devin can be 120 kilo walking around easy. Yeah, he is a lot bigger these days, yes, as if he wasn't trying for supers. I mean, he's tall. He's a very tall man. He's 6'5" or something like that. His frame is not really thick, though. I mean, he's more athletic, you would say. I don't know. I mean, he's 6'5". I'm 6'3". I sit at 100 kilos pretty much all year round. I don't know. 115 might. Oh, did you say 120? Yeah. Slight. I don't know. I don't know if he would be 120 unless, like, in those days before he was trying to be in the super heavyweights. Now that he is in the super heavyweight division, I would agree with you, Drew. All right, let's have a look at these rankings in the Hook rankings page, because I do want to highlight the effort that goes into it, because they do a great job and it is a very good resource. Let's have a look in the Hook rankings. All right, here we go. So I would hope that this gets updated regularly, but let's have a look here. So the North American rankings in the 242 plus, which is, what is this, 120 or 115? Let's have a look. 242 divided by 252, 110 kilo plus. North American rankings, Michael Todd sitting at the top above Devin Larratt. It's a little strange. Why would that be? Why would Michael be ranked above Devin? And then Jerry is in 3rd. Dave Chafee still sitting in the top 4 in 4th. Corey West, Austin Jaggers. Is this an old list? And Wallace sitting down here at 12. I was going to figure out when they've actually last updated this, because I would hate to be like listing this out and then it's like, no, this is from 6 years ago. I would hope that this is updated regularly. I mean, it looks sort of current. The only one that's really throwing me off here is that Devin is ranked underneath Michael on the right arm. I'm not sure exactly why that is, and you guys can see that. Let's have a look. What's everyone saying in the chat here? Serena's Arms and Screamy says, now that Devin is a bit older, he would be 117 kilos in walking weight. Wow, that's heavy. What is this number 1 and number 3 tags on YouTube chat? It happened in some live YouTubes. It started a week ago. I don't know, Drew. I haven't seen it. I see the platform through the streaming side of things, which is through Restream. I don't see the YouTube page unless I load it up, and then I get an echo because I hear myself twice. I'm normally number one, says Spermy's Ice Cream. Yeah, that's right. Grant Law says, there's no way Rickard is going to come down in weight. He's 21 and he's only going to get bigger as he matures and fills out naturally. In South Africa, he is classified as medium. That's really good. He's classified as a medium-sized toddler. They are some big people over in South Africa. And the fun thing is that since we've been sort of following Rickard's journey and talking to a lot of the South Africans that are over there, we found some amazing matches, amazing pullers, the clubs that are going there. Let's see, what's the Drew say here? Look at your phone or something, mute it on laptop or whatever so you can see it. Look at your phone. Yeah, so what is this, number 1 and 3? I mean, if it's all up and running and working for me, Drew, I'm not that concerned. To be honest, it's just one more thing I'd be trying to fix, and I'll do it offline. I'd rather not try to fix technical things live if it's not causing a major problem. Yeah, it's one of those things. I think a golden rule for streaming, and Grant Law will probably tell you the same thing as well. If everything's running all right, just leave it. Just get it done, and then if you want to fix or change stuff, do it later. What have we got here? Okay. My wonderful girlfriend, Angie, has sent me a screenshot of this numbers thing that you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what that is. If you guys are subscribed to the channel, I think it might have something to do with that. Because I did change something a while ago, but I haven't. Yeah, because this is an interesting fact here, ladies and gentlemen, that you can subscribe to my channel. And well, you can subscribe, but then you can become like a member sort of thing. And I think I set it at $1 because it became an option. It's like, hey, do you want people to become a member of your channel? It's like, yes. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, you can set up this thing. And the cheapest you can do it is $1. And then they get some special icons or, I don't know, emojis or something. And so it could be something to do with that. Or here we go. The Drew says it is a community leaderboard and experience points. That's kind of cool. So very strange. Or maybe you get experience points the longer you're on watching or something like that. I really haven't looked into it, but it may be worth, if anyone else who's not live on camera right now wants to have a look and let me know. Anyway, so we're looking at these in the hook rankings. The interesting thing here, I don't get, why is Michael Todd above Devin Larratt? Have I missed something? I thought, didn't both guys? That was a left-handed match because I saw Devin lost one in a tournament recently, but that was left-handed. And the membership is only $1. Get it while it's way too cheap. And there we go. We've got Spermy's Ice Creamy giving 99 cents Canadian dollars. Thank you very much for that, Spermy's. No comment, though. just this wonderful sound. I hope that was worth 99 cents for you, Spermy's. It was for me. I know somebody that would find that funny, but that's okay. As long as it's funny to me, that's all I care about. Now, this rankings here. Why is this and not this? Anyway, all right. I do think Jerry is in the correct position there. Jerry below Michael. What is going on? Why is Michael number 1 here? Because Jerry was the most recent to go against Levan Saganashvili. He's only lost that match, hasn't he? He hasn't lost anything after that. I don't know. I mean, this is North American rankings. I'm guessing they probably don't take into account the East versus West results, something like that. James, sign up. Matt is worth it. I'm still reading number 2. Yeah, I don't know, Spermy. You have to figure it out. Click on the number icon. It will show you more info. And then a question mark thing. Ooh, a secret. You'll get to see my naked photos. Everyone sees them anyway. But Yeah, okay. It is from 2019. Thank you for that. I wasn't sure how long they had updated it, but you can see even in 2019, Drew, that Wallace is still sitting in number 12 there. So he's been around. He's been around for a long time and at the highest levels, especially in North America as well. So, but what's interesting here, like looking at the names on this list, even though this is from 27. I'm reading the super chat that popped up from 2019. Even though it's 2019, you're seeing the same names here that are still the top guys in the sport today. Let's see. Also, if anyone has really changed, I'd say Dave has probably dropped off a bit there. Corey, I'd say, right hand. Difficult to place him exactly, but he's definitely improved significantly. Isn't Austin Jaggers in jail now? Tim Preston, always an absolute legend in the sport of arm wrestling. Chances, I think he's either injured or he stepped away for a little bit. Derek Smith is still hanging around. He's still a very prominent figure in the world of arm wrestling, especially in the Californian scene. Pavlo still around. Mega Mike, he's been doing tremendous things. I mean, this is interesting, actually, to look at something from 6 years ago and say, okay, well, this is what it looked like 6 years ago. It's not that different today. It's like those top 20 names are, I'd say a large majority are still in there. I'd say the only one that I know for sure that would have dropped out is Chance, and only because he hasn't been competing. So there we go. And Smurfs asked the Creamy with a tremendously generous super chat here. He says, it's always a blast on your lives. Thank you so much. So Spermy is an absolute pleasure. And I still am frustrated at myself when we met in Ireland. And you said, that clip on your podcast made me laugh when you were talking about that guy. And I knew what you were talking about, and I could not bloody think of the guy's name. Stephen Hawking was the name. Could not think of it. And I think I sat there for about a minute or 2 minutes in silence trying to remember his name when I should have been talking to you. I still feel weird about that. Anyway, I read that from your stream since I don't have a Facebook. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Drew. James is good people, absolutely. And he gets a love heart back from Drew. Yes, Chance hasn't been training. He doesn't care to. He did have some issues before, though. Yeah, I know he had an elbow injury at some point. Be nice if there was a current list of the rankings. Is that on the Golden Arm page? Let me have a look at that, because that would be great if they had. Was it Gold's Arm? Gold's Arm. Gold's Arm? Gold's Arm? Noah's Ark? I don't know why that's popping into my head. Let's pretend that didn't happen. All right, let's have a look here. I'm looking at Gold's Arm site. Do they have a rankings page? That'll be great. Is there a current rankings page for arm wrestlers that's official? I don't think there's an official one. There's probably unofficial ones out there, but I don't know where they are. It'd be nice to see one. If anyone has a link to one or wants me to have a look at one, just let me know and I'll check it out. But of that 20 that I brought up before, there's not that many different names in that top 20. They just sort of reshuffled a little bit. But Wallace Dilly in that as well, and he will be taking on Rickard Bourneman East versus West 18. Any thoughts on how the match will go? Does anybody really familiar with Wallace? Originally, I was going to be doing today's show with Israel Chavez, who I believe knows Wallace a lot better than I do. He was going to be coming on as I know about Rickard, he knows about Wallace, so but unfortunately, I don't think Israel got the message. I've sent it to him, but that's okay. We'll see if he pops on at some point. Spermy says, I'd rather an Irish whiskey with you, but have a beer on me. There we go. Thank you, Spermies. And Drew has gone, maybe you should make one on the forum. The forum at Gold's Arm. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was just like, oh, you want to see the rankings? Here it is. It's right here on this website, rather than... We don't know. I mean, you guys in the arm wrestling scene, we obviously have a fairly good idea as to who the top guys are. It's not going to be any surprises, but it's always fun to sort of see the list and go, well, who's number 3 and who's number 7 and who's this? And, you know, say Wallace Dilly is like on that list previously that we were looking at. He was, 12, I think, in North America. I'd like to see where he is at this point in time and then compare that to where Rickard Bourneman is here in Australia, even though he is obviously South African. But in Australia is where he has done the majority of his competitive arm wrestling. He did also go and compete in Knuckles Up in New Jersey, where he got a very, very strong, powerful, dominant victory over the legend Don Underwood, Hollywood Underwood, the original and the best Hollywood Underwood. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen a really comprehensive, like, breakdown list, you know what I mean? Like, this is the rankings that in the whatever forum, the one I was looking at a second ago, in the hook. Be great if they kept that updated. I'm sort of slightly frustrated that isn't current. Let me have a look on there again. I just want to check it one more time because maybe they have an updated post, because that's obviously the pinned post that's at the top of the screen, but they may have done an updated post in their feed. I'm just going to check that out and see if I can, because 2019 is the last time, well, it was when they started everything. Let's see if we can find any updates here. Yeah, it looks like it was a couple of years ago that they've actually, since they've adjusted it. Yeah, so that's really frustrating and disappointing that we can't find that. That's okay. You're the real Hollywood. Well, the way that Hollywood's going, the actual town in LA, I don't know if that's a good thing anymore. There's going to be some scandals that are coming out of that town in the next few months, but that's okay. We'll roll forwards with the idea of what it used to be like. Very good. So, yeah, let me have a look at one of Rickard's matches here for you guys. I might break down his style and we'll get an idea as to what we can expect to see when he competes at East versus West. And let me just type that in. Rickard Bourneman arm wrestling. It's already in my previous search results. How about that? All right, new arm wrestling champ Rickard Bourneman. This video is one of the reasons that Rickard got the call up to East versus West. Was, let me bring it up for you, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. I guess aware. Mute that so we don't have background noise. So this is after the event of AWE Grand Prix, the first one, and Rickard stormed through the field going undefeated, winning the belt and becoming the AWE heavyweight champ. And right here is after the event. He had already competed. He'd had 4 matches against some of the top guys in the country, and he had been, after pulling for quite a while as well. Lachlan Adair had worked that day. I think it was a Saturday or something like that. He arrived there after the event had finished, or midway through or something like that. And so he just jumped on the table here with Lachlan Adair, with Rickard Bourneman, and you can see that Rickard is holding his own, and he's getting pins. And they're going back and forth quite remarkably well, with considered the number one in Australia, most definitely, and in the Oceanic region. So having competed on East versus West and King of the Table, Lachlan Adair is one of the best guys in the Southern Hemisphere by a long way. And then he's jumped on the table with Rickard Bourneman. Now, keep in mind, Rickard at this point has already competed in a tournament, and this is the after pull here. Let's get to the actual pulling instead of the strap tying up. All right. And so Rickard doing very nicely. You can see that press there. This is the strength that Rickard has. Lachlan able to keep him out of that there. He knew what Rickard was going for. Rickard wanting to get his shoulder behind. You can see Lachlan's strength there. He knows what Rickard's trying to do. But Rickard's side pressure and roll through his pronation. He tried to press again. He's a little bit outside the line of his shoulder. You can see Lachlan is letting him work there. I think if he wanted to, he could probably go for the pin. But, he's really letting Rickard jump in and press hard here. And you see Lachlan turning it on now. Rickard's a bit further away from his shoulder, but he still manages to get enough in there to get behind it and roll through. You can see he's put everything into that. So obviously the powers that be have seen that video and they've said, well, who is this guy, Rickard Bourneman? What's he all about? And from there, he was able to secure a match at Knuckles Up against the legend Don Hollywood Underwood, and he dominated that match as well. As we can see, I might bring that up too because it was such a dominant victory for Rickard Bourneman. He was so dominant, in fact, that Don actually just, I think he sort of laid down after the second round. He's just like, I can't do anything to this guy. So what an absolutely incredible win for Richard Bormann. And the Drew says, I was about to email you. I was check if you're okay. I have not seen any live streams in the middle of the night lately. Yes, just the job I've been doing. I've been doing afternoon shifts, which is the time when we're doing the Arm Wrestling Tonight show. Tonight is the last one of those, though, so I can get back on top of everything. Let's have a look here. Oh, actually, what does the Drew say? He says, I would like to see East versus West allow Lockie to have an official right-handed match versus Rickard there in Australia just to help cement it. And it would help boost East versus West pay-per-view match for Rickard too. Yes, absolutely, completely agree. That would be incredible. We would love to see that. Heck of a hand on Bormann. Oh, absolutely. The guy is just an absolute weapon. And 21 years old. He's just... Oh, man. I hope you saw that video, his very first night of arm wrestling, and he went into the Kingpins Club, which is in Queensland, in Brisbane. Some of the absolute best arm wrestlers in the country floating around that club. Lachlan Adair, Ryan Bowen, some of the top guys, Marcus Atirai. Rickards walked into that club, of all clubs in the country, and held his own. His first time doing it. It's just like, how is this guy so strong, especially being so young? Incredible, absolutely incredibly strong young man. And let's have a look at this match with Don Underwood. Let's bring this up. This is from Knuckles Up. And there we go. You can see Don on the right there and Rickard on the left of screen. Very focused. And I haven't seen this match for a little while, but Rickard's obviously known for his press, but he is a very strong top roller as well. So let's see what technique he utilizes in the first round. Oh, he started a bit early there. You could see Rickard a little nervous. I think this was his first time on the big stage. He's flown across the world for this match. It's in New Jersey. All eyes are on him, and he's against an absolute legend. But there he goes. He catches Don's hit, and he rolls through outside of straps, catching Don's hand. Let's see if we can bring that up again, and we'll just, because it happened very, very quickly. Let's check that out again. Make sure you guys can see that, because I've done that before. I've talked through a whole match and no one could see it. All right, let's have a look. Where are we? Okay, yes. So this is the start here again, and it's fast, so I got to be quick here. So right here, you can see there, Don has moved. His whole body is throwing with him. His hand is the issue. So Rickard able to get a cup. You see that bend in his wrist right there. That is the difference between his ability to move and Don's ability to move. So Don has thrown sideways, which is why you can see Rickard on the defensive position here. But Rickard gets the cup in. Don's hand falls underneath Rickard's. You see that right there? See how Rickard's hand is way higher than Don's? Rickard knows it as well. Look at that face. He's looking at Don, in fact. He's like, I've got everything I need right here. And he does. You can see he's right up high in Don's hand. He's eliminated the wrist of Don Underwood there. So Don would have to scoot his elbow forwards and come back up with his height of his forearm to be able to get back over the top of Rickard. It's not going to happen at this point. This is the very first round. It's fast. This is half a second into the first round. Rickard's already making the face like I have this match in the bag. And right there, he's looking at Don as he pins him. And look at the celebration there from Richard Bormann. Amazing, amazing effort. Gets the pin on Don Underwood for the first round. Let's skip through the second. It looks like they're going to start in straps. Is this a restart of the first round? Maybe there was an elbow foul or something that they've called. What are they saying? Let me see. Did I miss something? Were they saying there was an elbow foul? Yeah. So, okay, they're restarting this one. Anyway, let's have a look. And they go to straps for some reason. All right, let's see if we can find the actual match. Here we go. Purple straps. Interesting. Rickard getting some last-minute warnings from the referee, and they're going to go to the referee's grip. That is the hand signal of referee's grip. There we go. And again, the same thing happens. Let's see if we can get a better angle here, because that angle wasn't the best. Yes. Turn point. Oh, they didn't give us a replay. All right. Let's see if we can find. There we go. All right. Here we go. Okay. Referee's group. Now we get the close. You can see Don. This is a veteran move here. So he's watching the referee's mouth very, very closely. He doesn't need to know what's happening. He doesn't need to look at his hand here because he can feel it. He can feel that with his hand. He is waiting for the timing of the go from the referee. And he's watching her very closely because you can time that start based on what the referee is doing. And if they're casually talking and they're setting up the hands and they're talking to they're not going to just like go like all of a sudden. It's, you'll get a feel, a rhythm, a cadence that they are in. And most of the time, say for my refereeing style, I will line the guys up, I will get them in position, and I will say, don't move. And then it will be go. And that is the rhythm with me every time. It'll be don't move, there'll be a second, and then it'll be go. Some of the referees may, as soon as you get in position, they'll say go. But it's going to be different for every single referee that you have. And the best thing you can do is just watch some matches that are taking place with that referee and see what rhythm that they're utilizing so that you can time that start. And that's what Don is doing right here. He is watching. Is that Judy from Poland? Or is she behind? I don't know. But she's watching the referee's mouth very closely here for the start. And maybe a bit of an early start there from Don, but it didn't help him. Again, the same thing. So Don has moved to the side. You can see here he's moved sideways. Rickard getting his shoulder in. He's blocked that whole laneway here. This laneway here is now not available because Rickard's frame and his shoulder are in the way. You would have to push his entire body out of the way to be able to get anywhere there. His only direction is through this way here, and the cup that Rickard has utilized there is eliminating that lane as well. So right there is no options for Don to get through. Rickard just drops his body weight down with his tricep. You can see the flex of the tricep there, and he gets the press win. So let's move on. So let me just address the comments here because I'd love to see what everyone else's thoughts are. Matt, you want me to get the word out to Dexter or Baxter about that awesome idea, or do you have the contact? Is that about the rankings? Judy is a fantastic ref. Yes, absolutely. Smiley Atlantis in real life says that bro is a beast. And Spermy's ass is she's got a pretty mouth. She got a pretty mouth. Yep. Young lad with a quick twitch muscles. Absolutely. Coming from a rugby background, explosivity on this. This man is insane. The Drew says drag strip racing has the Christmas tree electronic starting fouling system. Arm wrestling needs to have their own standard in place as well. Have you seen Lock on Adair's style of refereeing? It is, let me just move this out of the way. Lock on Adair's style of refereeing. He'll get your hands in position and then he'll do that. And then say go. It's kind of cool, like, because you can tell when the start is coming because he's like, he puts his fingers, so by the time the third one touches, then it's a go, which is kind of cool. It's something different. And we've seen that in was he the referee for Grand Prix 1 or 2? He refereed a couple of our matches that's on YouTube, and you can really see that style. That drag lighting style, a light bar for each side with an arm wrestler. Yeah, man, there's so many things that need to happen, or that could happen with the sport of arm wrestling. But I love the ideas. I keep throwing them out there. My idea is to have a moat around the table filled with crocodiles and electric eels. And also, if the table could be on fire, that would be great. That is my idea. I haven't heard your idea, so I don't know. So far, my idea is winning because it's the only one out there. All right, let's have a look at Rickard Bornman here and Don Underwood. Let me bring it back up so you can actually see it. I almost made the same mistake again where you couldn't see the video. All right. All right, let's find the start because it's always tricky. You don't want to sit there for 5 minutes watching a setup. Looks like they're going to start in straps again. Okay. This is pretty close to it. So will Rickard go for the press again? Okay, we're going to get the start. Oh, it was like Don has timed that perfectly there. Unfortunately, the cut that he's getting is like Rickard. You can see how far around Don's hand Rickard's fingers are here. That's allowing him to get that flex. And it's almost like Don is pushing Rickard into that, which is a very high technical move on Rickard's behalf. Let your opponent push you into a cup. They push in like this. So, yeah, you sacrifice that first inch, but now you've got a real strong cup. Whereas if you're trying to just out-cup somebody and they're stronger, you're going to be flat-wristed going to the pad. But if you let them push you into it, now you've got something. Rickard doesn't even get pushed out of this position. He just lets his wrist flex. He doesn't even go anywhere. He just gets pushed flexed like that. You can see right here, he's all the coverage he needs. And right there, he could have just rolled through right then. You see that little smile on Rickard's face? He knows he's got this. And I think he lets Don work here. But yeah, there he goes. He starts talking. Let's see, put the sound on. We can see if we can hear what Rickard's saying.
Oh, Rickard Borman holding center.
He's talking to Don there.
Oh, that's a strong young man right there. You can see he was telling Don, work, 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 work. Don, to his credit, kept trying, but he was in a very, very bad position right there. So let's
Borman holding.
You see here, Don's hand is almost palm up. He's almost hand facing the roof. He's got a little bit of pronation and a cup. But you can see the position he is in on his arm there. He is all on bicep. If Rickard wanted to, he could lean forwards and drop his body weight. No one in the world is going to be able to bicep curl 130 kilos with momentum as well as his pressure of his arm. It's just not going to happen. So the position that Rickard is in right here, he knows he has this match won. The only thing that Don could really do here is drastically change the positioning of the hands. And the only way he's going to be able to do that is if he has a more powerful either drag or ability to move his hands above Rickard's. He's so underneath Rickard here. Rickard telling him to work. You can see Don trying to get everything on his side. He's trying to slide with his elbow. He needs this to stay in line, but when he goes to move his body, his hand just stays behind, and his body goes, his hand stays there. You see like this sort of movement. He's trying to prevent that from happening by dragging his elbow in nice and tight so that when he moves, his hand goes with him, but Rickard's just too strong. It's such a great grip position here, and you can see right there Rickard looking at Don, telling him to work. Don in terrible position. He's trying to top roll in a hook position almost, and Rickard had enough. He's going to roll straight through almost with pure side pressure there, and he slams Don down for the win. Let's get to the last round, or was that first to three? Okay, yeah. They only did first to three in this, or is it? I thought these matches were first to four, but we can see Don is giving the victory or the commiseration speech and giving props to Rickard Borman there. So that was Rickard's most recent match on the right hand. He did have a match with us at AWE most recently on the left against the legend Brett Coots. And that was an absolute war. If you haven't seen that, it is on the AWE Underground YouTube channel. Please go check it out. It is absolutely amazing. What a war between two of Australia or Oceania's top arm wrestlers. I keep calling Rickard Australian, and he's not. I know he's South African. Atlantis in real life says there would need to be expensive lasers or AI or something to detect false starts. So what about just a hand that pops out of the table and just slaps you if you foul, or if you false start? If you false start, you get an eye poke, and if you foul, you get a slap. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I'm serious. That would be amazing. Like a drag race. Yes, absolutely. I'm glad that you're nodding. Atlantis, it is it's comforting to know that. The Drew says, James, I don't have direct lines, but I can get word to them, sure. Carrier pigeon, probably. Sperm is ice cream. He says he seems to have a great ability to get high on opponents' hands, too. Absolutely, completely agree. Bob Anderson is here. Hello to you. He says, what's up, guys? Hello to you, Bob Anderson. We are talking about Rickard Bournemouth, and here's a match upcoming at East versus West 18 against Wallace Dilly. We're very excited to see that and to see Rickard's continued rise, and whether he wins or loses, it is incredible to see him on that stage. The Drew says, I want to know. I want to know. We go based on solid, indisputable system. Not this maybe a little early, but wasn't called, etc. annoys me. If you come up with the answer and solution, Drew, I'm all ears. Have we talked about Rickard's upcoming match? We are talking about that right now. In fact, if you have any info on Wallace, I would love to hear it. I am a little unfamiliar with Wallace's story. I know that he is a top arm wrestler. He was #1 in Nebraska for a very long time. And we saw on the In the Hook Rankings Facebook page that 6 years ago, he was in the top 15. He was number 12. So he's been around for a long time, and he's a seasoned veteran of the sport. Technology is there, Drew. The kid is a beast. Absolutely. The Drew says, Bob! Exclamation mark. I don't know what. There's no follow up to that, but just Bob. Bob says, yeah. He goes. But Israel was scheduled to be on here to talk about. He was. I don't know. Let me see if he's seen the message. Has he seen the message? He hasn't seen the message. Damn. I sent one at 4 a.m. and I sent one at 11 a.m. That's right. It's all right. We all get busy, and hopefully everything was all good with Israel Chavez. Great guy. That would be perfect, says Atlantis. A giant hands. Yeah, absolutely. That slaps. Oh, you get both contestants off the stage. Well, what happened to the other guy? He didn't foul. Should only be the person that fouls that gets slapped. Or if you foul, you slaps your opponent. No, that's not fair. There it is. The Drew has shared the AWE Underground main YouTube channel. There is all the goodness on there. Absolutely. Thank you, Drew, for that. Bob! Yes? Do you want something? No. I'm just yelling your name. I don't want anything. Did someone say Bob? Yeah, 2 people. I don't know what they want. They just wanted to yell Bob. What do you call a man with no arms, no legs, floating in the ocean? Bob. Israel, not used to hearing from Matt at a normal upright time. It wasn't. I sent him at 4 a.m., which is, I don't know, 7 hours ago, which is whatever, 2 in the afternoon, and then 9 at night or something like that. A broom handle up the ass. No one's fouling. That's great. Bob's there going, what? What did I do? Why is everyone yelling at me? A broom handle like that. Wow. Yeah. That's a bit more extreme than where I was going. Spoories. I would still like the slap, though. I think that would be tremendous. You know, just like you don't even realize that you fouled until you get slapped. It's like you get the pin, or the match is taking place, and then just whoosh, a pole comes up, a hand goes whack. You're like, Matt, or also what you call a man with no arms or legs at a doorstep. Absolutely, yes. There we go. There is a bunch of those. Am I in trouble, says Bob? I don't know. Everyone's yelling. I don't know why they're yelling, Bob, but they are. You're the man of today. You're the man of the moment. You are the Bob that we all needed. Everyone needs a Bob in their life. A lady that lays across a tennis court, a net. What about a woman with one leg, Eileen? A guy who hides in the bushes, Russell. A guy with a shovel in his head, Doug. A guy without a shovel in his head, Douglas. What else is there? Guy who works out a lot. Jim. Oh, a man with no legs from the knees down. Neil. Yeah, I'm trying not to say that one. Okay. Conversation going in my mind, and it's throwing up a suggestion which is not appropriate. And it's like, no. I did consider it, but I was like, no. No arms, no legs. You beat me to it, man. Yes, Irene. That is the one I am thinking of, but I'm not saying it. Oh, there it is. Oh, you've said it. Okay. One leg shorter in China. Yeah. Irene. Absolutely. Yes. So Eileen with one leg. Chinese is Irene. So there you go. Some great stuff. I don't know how we got to that point. Just please don't get me onto the tongue twisters, or we'll never talk about arm wrestling again. I'll give you a very simple tongue twister, a very simple one. It Irish wristwatch. That's all it is. Irish wristwatch. If you can just say that, that's all I will float your way. It's a very simple one. Irish wristwatch. Just say that. If you get that, then we'll move on. That's the starting point. We'll move on to Theophilus Thistler later. All right. So I'm enjoying having a look at Rickard's matches here. I would like to have a look at another one. And if you would like to join me, you can. Feel free. Let me look at AWE, Rickard Borman versus Bowen Contado. This is on right, absolutely. Now, let's bring that one up because this is another fun match. And there was a really funny moment, which always makes me laugh. I've never been able to watch this bit without laughing. And I hope that you will laugh too. You will laugh at me laughing at it. Let's bring it along here. Rickard Borman, as Grant Law would say, Rickard Borman. It is the starting of the lawnmower, is the way that you need to pronounce your R's if you're going to say any sound or any name from South Africa. Rickard. The Drew says, name the 2 ways to drown a blonde. It's okay, because I'm still technically a blonde myself. What? You've got brown hair, haven't you? I swear you've got brown hair. 2 ways to drown a blonde. Wasn't it you put a mirror at the bottom of a pool? That's one of them. I don't know what the second one is. I didn't know there was a second answer. But that's okay. Let's have a look at this match here with Rickard Borman and Bowen Contado. Not Ryan Bowen. It is Bowen Contado. And there's Rickard there with an interesting face there, and got some highlights of the match. I believe Ryan and I edited this together in his studio. All right, so I'll give a bit of a background on both gentlemen here. Okay, so here we go. This is where you will see the drag racing style start from Lock on Adair here, because he is refereeing this match. So Rickard Borman, obviously on the right. I think this is just prior to him realizing that he had a very powerful press. I think it's just prior to that. I think he was still top rolling at this point. And Bowen Contado is a former axe wood chopping champion. So he has incredibly strong wrists, and his momentum and speed is just insanely dangerous. He is more of a left-handed specialist, though, although his right hand is still very formidable. And this was still in the time when we weren't quite sure of Rickard's level. He hadn't won the Grand Prix at this point. I think at this point he is coming off of a loss from Mario Tambarkas. Anyway, so let's have a look at the match here. So they're probably going to slip because they always do. But maybe not. Let's have a look. Oh, you can see there. Bowen. Rickard's fired up. He's ready to go. Got the chalk dust flying up in the air. Alrighty. Here we go. We're going to get the start. I'm just reading through the comments here again. Okay, we're going to get the start here. No, yes. Bowen not happy. Don't know why. He's got a pretty good setup there. It's fairly fair. We'll see if we get the drag racing style start. There it is. 1, 2, Oh, no, there's a movement from Bowen's side, and you can see Lachlan Adair is pointing that out. Bowen shaking his head, but it was clear movement there. Maybe he was feeling something from Rickard, and it could have been Rickard that was pressuring, and Bowen was just allowing the pressure to take him out of position for the referee to know that there was movement. But here we go. We're going to see that drag racing style. We need to see the thumb knuckle, says Lachlan Adair, the referee. Fairly even start. Looks pretty good to me. There we go. We get the start. And Rickard dominant there. We get a slip. Bowen's talking trash. He's not happy. He likes to get fired up for these matches. Let's put the sound on so we can hear what he's saying, because there was some fun moments there.
Down, Ricard. Down, Ricard. Pull that around. Carve here. Carve here.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, you did a fucking movie, buddy. Yeah, whatever, buddy.
That's where we get the strap, bud.
That's even worse.
Oh, I don't know if you heard that. That was great. I don't think I've ever heard that bit before. Bowen says, wait till we get in the strap, buddy. And Rickard's response is, that's even worse. Tremendous. You can see on the start there, Bowen hitting hard, and Rickard didn't move.
Down, Ricard. Down, Ricard.
So look, you see that
Pull that
start
around.
again.
Carve here. Carve here.
Right there. So Rickard, again, looking straight at Bowen. He knows he has positioning. He knows he can handle Bowen's strength of his wrist. They're both pretty flat-wristed here. Despite that, Bowen's like, I'm just going to go for it anyway. Yeah. He does. His hand buckles there. You see that? And with his little smile, I'll just screenshot that. Oh, I might even do that, actually, because I want to send that to Rickard. I'm just going to screenshot that because that made me laugh. I've got to send that to Rickard. Be like, look at this little smirk you've got going on here, Rickard. Look at that. That is the face of a winner right there. Look at this. All right. Bowen's wrist has buckled here. His body has moved. His hand has stayed exactly where it is because Rickard's hand is too strong. It's hand and wrist. He's not getting pushed back. He's not getting flopped. And you can see the attempted low hand top roll position that Bowen's probably going to try to move into here.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
So he comes back up, and now I think he's working for the slip here. He's allowed his wrist to flop, and he's pushing into it. I mean, it's a flop press position. He hasn't got his shoulder behind. He knows he's going to try to get out of there. He probably felt it with his hand when he went for it. He's like, I ain't getting out of this. I need to get out of the grip that we're in and get to the strap and go again. And you can see Rickard, he feels that. He knows that Bowen's going to try to get out of here.
Come on, man.
And there he goes. He just pushes forwards with a press of his own just to get these slips. Stop wasting time.
Yeah, you did a fucking movie, buddy. Yeah, whatever, buddy.
Isn't it funny when a certain word gets the thing that everyone wants to say? Buddy seems to be the one that people are very keen on saying at this point. Let me just catch up on the comments quickly. The truth says the 2 ways to drown a blonde. 1, put a mirror on the bottom of the pool, or a scratch and sniff at the bottom of the pool. Well, that's cool. Rickard says, Spermie's ice cream. Very nice. Good job. Bob Anderson says, I've never been able to roll my R's. Well, you will never be able to speak Spanish. And if you do speak Spanish and you can't roll your R's, I want to hear that. The truth says, I'm a very dirty blonde right now. Very. Older I get, it has been getting darker. Dark enough to be brown and not blonde. It was blinding light when I was a kid. Okay. Musclebug is here. He says he can't drown a blonde. She's too busy on the roof because she heard the drinks are on the house. That's exactly right. There you go. Musclebug is here. Hello to you, sir. It is good to see you. Spermie's Ice Cream is now just referring to you as Blake, which is fair enough. Bob Anderson says, Rickard looks so much younger and smaller. This is last year. This is like a year ago. Showed you how big he's getting so quickly. MB. Well, we've gone from muscle bike to just MB. Soon it'll just be a dot. Drew, you're probably not blonde, but a grey. There you go. Muscle Bike says, Slancha Spermie. He's like, cheers to Spermies. Who gets a peace sign and a smiley. Muscle Bike says, Drew, how goes it, matey? How? And I don't grey, I white. Okay. Hashtag Arm Gods. Absolutely. Check out Arm Gods. They do a tremendous job. They are a promotion based from the UK with Paul Maiden and Marcus Thompson. And they do some incredible events. And you can check them out at armgods.com. And they have a tremendous website filled with their back catalog and all their upcoming events. And you can get access to all of that for just $5. Bob Anderson says, I wish every match had this type of energy. Absolutely. What's his name? Bowen? It is Bowen. Bowen Contado. His first name is Bowen. It's not Ryan Bowen. It is nobody that strong, says Muscle Bike. Brian Bowen's brother? No, it is Bowen Contado, which does cause confusion. For real, Drew, I was expecting more Bowen jokes. The Armenian arm wrestler is in here. He says, hello, lads. Hello to you. He's got the double biceps there. We'll give you a nice little double biceps back. Thank you to that Armenian arm wrestler. Great to see you here. Muscle Bike. Yo, says Atlantis in real life. And Muscle Bike, I'm eating, says the Drew. Even though he is still able to type and put a smiley face emoji, he is eating. That's all right. Let's have a look at the rest of this match here.
Until we get the strap, bud. That's even worse.
That's even worse, says Rickard Pornman.
Okay, shoulder just a little bit, please, Bowen. Thumbs are already down.
All right.
Do you want to go underneath your thumb, Bowen?
I'll go Bob.
You want to cap?
Yeah, because he's capping already.
No, he's not.
Oh, I hope you guys can hear that. Bowen says he's capping already. And Locke was like, no, he's not. I gotta hear that again.
Bob.
You want to cap?
Yeah, because he's capping already.
No, he's not.
He hasn't closed his hand yet. He hasn't closed his hand. How is he capping, Bowen? I think you hear the confusion in Lachlan's voice. No, he's not. What are you talking about? His hand is still open. I'll say that one more time. This is incredible.
I'll go Bob.
You want to cap?
Yeah, because he's capping already.
No, he's not.
He's capping already. His hand is open.
You have to bring that around.
Shoulders, calf.
Bring it around. Yeah, we've got calf here and we've got calf here.
Oh, he's geared up here. You can see he's put the power on. He wants to start with all of the pressure in. We're about to get the start. No, there it is. Wow. A very good effort from Bowen there, but that's another great photo. So I keep finding these funny. I know that Rickard's going to find it funny as well. That's why I just want to save these screenshots and send them to him because they're making me laugh, which means they'll make him laugh. But damn, what if I can make a compilation of moments where Rickard is staring and smiling at his opponents, like a little montage or something. But you can see here, let's see if we can get that timing of the start. So Bowen misses this times the start a little bit. You can see him grimace and then he relaxes and then they start and he has to flex and get everything going again, get everything tight again. It's only a very small little movement here, but it does make that difference on his start. So you can see, let's have a look at this timing. So you can see right here, he's framed up, he's taken a deep breath, he's all ready to go, but they don't start. And then he has to breathe out and try again. And he didn't get a deep breath. He sort of like, you heard that sound that he made, that which really does affect your ability to put everything in a very tight frame. You've breathed out, you've sort of lost connection with all that tightness.
We've got calf here.
So right here, you can see they're both flat-wristed. And Rickard has gone sideways with all of his body weight and strength. He has a very, very good, strong position on Bowen here, who is holding hard. Look at that forearm there on Bowen. Incredible work. He's in a bad spot there because he doesn't have access to a cup. The only thing he's able to do here is what he does, which is his wrist flops back a little bit. Rickard may have let off the gas a little bit just to sort of let him back in it, but Bowen gritting his teeth here, he's going to go with a flop position. He tries to get his shoulder in, but his wrist is just too far gone, and Rickard just wants to just drop. Oh, what did he say at the end there? Oh, that was nasty, Rickard. What was that? I'm going to hear that again. Oh, I don't think I'd heard that before. I'm not going to say what Rickard said, but I think everyone heard it. Oh, it's getting spicy here. That's a nice photo of Lachlan there.
It's cheating and all that sort of stuff. I mean,
Look, he's so high. That's it.
bring him down, but you're also calm.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? So you just need, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Or I have to start reading. I'll have
Let me pull the I'll catch up on the comment. Because I can't watch both at the same time. Where are we? Muscle Bike in real life. Hey, buddy, long time. How are you keeping over there? Oh, he's talking to Atlantis real life. Absolutely. Bowen Castrato. Oh, it's an interesting play on the name there. Matt, your ability to make out monotonous chat sound interesting shows how deep your potential lies within you. Oh, well, thank you, sir. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's fun for me. Without you guys writing stuff, it wouldn't be. It would just be me sitting here talking to myself. XS and O's, kisses and hugs, says, is AWE doing anything to support white South African farmers in solidarity with Rickard? I didn't know about this. Is there a group that is supporting Rickard? If there is, let me know, and I'll find out more information about it. Smooth as Answers Creamy says, Blake, the only mistake I made in Ireland was not drinking enough with Matt. We have the same sick humor. Absolutely. Well, I didn't drink that much when I was there. I was really busy the whole time. I really wanted to sort of help Paul and Marcus as much as I could. And so when I wasn't sort of actively at the event or trying to help set up a pack, whatever, I was trying to do videos and trying to get the word out there and trying to just push stuff as much as I could, as opposed to, I guess it's one of those double-edged swords, isn't it? If you're going over there for that purpose, it's like, do you want to have a fantastic time and get drunk and go and party with everybody, or do you want to go at it from let me look at this as a content creation, and I need to make sure that I get the content out that is relevant at the time, which is the path that I chose. Atlantis says, he's not too bad, man. How about you? And then for some reason there is a greater than symbol. Oh no, that was that one. There we go. How about you, greater than? I think he was supposed to press the full stop button or the period button if you're in America. How lazy are people in Australia? Not many different names, using first names as last names, vice versa. Yeah, it is interesting. I haven't heard of many people called Bowen, but this is Bowen Contato, and he is on the screen at the moment. Ha! Right, Drew? That is a weird. Ha! Right, Drew? A weird combination of punctuation there. Spermies. Same here. I only met Matt and the GOAT briefly. I did chat to you, Muscle Bike. It was great to meet you. And I think the only thing I really had the opportunity to ask you was, why are you called Muscle Bike? And you said it was like muscle car, and you have a very nice motorbike, so Muscle Bike. I thought that was very clever. And I should have realized that without thinking about it, or without asking. I should have thought about it first. Bobby Anderson says, do you know how much Rickard and Bowen weighed in for this match? I think Bowen sits around 220, 225, something like that. And how much does Rickard weigh in this match? I think he was sitting around 120 kilos, which is, 242 pounds, something like that at this point in time. And these are estimates. I might be a little bit off, but it would be around that. Bike gets a thumbs up from Spermies. The Drew says, I feel bad for Bowen in school. Sure, they used retardo right away. You know, kids will find the low-hanging fruit. Oh, okay, you're saying that people were making fun of his surname. That's nice of you, Drew. Your kids are mean, absolutely. Atlanta's fire bad. So AWE isn't doing anything to save Ricketts people. Okay. Well, yeah, that's not really a thing that we're looking at. As I said, if you have an organization or somebody that is actively doing something, let me know and I'll check it out. But as far as my role as a arm wrestling promoter, I am not familiar with exactly what you're talking about. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the match. The match here, Bowen Contado, Rickett Bourneman, and let's have a look. I think it's 1-0 for Rickett so far. He had a very nice pin in straps against Bowen the first round. Let's have a look here.
We're good. We got calf here. Calf
Second
here.
round.
Calf here too. I need a pronate around.
Bad day.
We'll get the nice slip there. We'll go to the strap.
Shoulders. In shoulders?
You see the different positioning here with Bowen's hand. He's going for a low hand top roll as opposed to the high hand top roll. The difference being the hand position. That is a low hand top roll position. That is a high hand top roll position. Rickett is in a high hand top roll position. Bowen is in a low hand top roll position. What is the advantage? What is the difference? The low hand position locks both of you into this framework. If you are able to lock that position in, it will prevent your opponent from being able to flex their wrist, but it also prevents you from being able to flex your wrist. Why is that important? If somebody has a high hand top roll, if they are going with a flat wrist, it is very difficult to move. If they have a cup, it is much easier, and you can pronate as well. Whereas when you are in a flat wrist position, your pronation is very limited, and trying to get sideways is very, very difficult. You really need that cup. With a low hand position, you're able to lock that position in. It prevents both of you from being able to cup your wrist, but then you can throw all of your weight sideways and the pronation comes this way. So it's not that you're flexing and rolling like this. It is a straight wrist like that, and then a turn over. So that is what Bowen Contado is a specialist in. You can see right here, perfect example of the hand positioning. The low hand top roll, you are pulling down with your fingers and you are lifting up with your wrists. So you're putting two lines of pressure to lock that position in. That is what Bowen will be looking to do.
Yeah, shoulders please, gents.
Oh, Bowen! Go, boys.
Yeah, I'm quite happy there. I'm going to bring it round. We're going to come Rickard's way, centre. Yeah,
Oh, he's just cupping more.
Yeah, we're going to, no, he's not. He's good. He's got a crease in his wrist. Little one here. We need to come Rickard's way.
You fucking cunt! Come on, buddy! Come on, man! Yeah! Yes!
One more round, is it?
Well done, man.
That's right. Okay.
So, yeah, one more round.
That's fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. Well done.
Oh, how about that moment there? I can't replay it with the sound on, but I hope you guys heard that. Bowen's very nice compliment of Rickard halfway through the round there. Let's watch it back. I have to put the sound off because there is some curse words that I don't want repeated for my channel here. You can see it makes Rickard laugh during the match. All right, so we get the start. This is the ideal. Look at that smile from Bowen there. He has exactly what he wants. That is an ideal position for him. Although Rickard's hand is in a very good position for him as well. Both guys have got an ideal position for the technique that they are looking to implement here. And we get the start right here. You can see Bowen is trying to put pressure with his fingers down and he's trying to raise his wrist. Rickard using his finger strength to contain what Bowen is doing. And it's a lot harder for Rickard to move through, but he gives up a little bit of his wrist positioning. You can see his hand is now not quite in line with his body, but he is starting to bust Bowen's hand back. And Bowen, being incredibly strong, he's able to keep that position. The power of the low hand there, it does prevent Rickard from getting that cup that he needs. You could see in that first round that Rickard was able to get that cup very comfortably and he was able to roll through. But right here, Bowen is preventing Rickard from being able to cup. So Rickard's strength and his body weight is what he's using, but his body is a little bit disconnected from his hand. He came back a little bit then. He's a bit better in line now. He does have Bowen's wrist cracked maybe a quarter of what he needs it here, but Bowen holding strong, and there it is. The second surge from Rickard is what busts Bowen's hand all the way back. He's in a low hand still, but you can see the compromise of the wrist here. Rickard still doesn't have a cup, but he is pronated through Bowen's wrist and he has a dominant position. He's going to hold that position. He can't really surge here without taking a breath, taking a break. He's going to come back up, I think, with his body. Bowen is still holding strong. He is probably hoping to be able to get that back to flat again. You can see right there, he does start to push his hand forwards, trying to come away from being flopped and compromised. He's trying to get back to a flat wrist position, but unfortunately, as he goes forwards there, you can see his wrist does kick back again. He's in a flop wrist position. He's in a bad spot here. Gives it his all. He does swear at Rickard. Rickard's laughing, having a good time. He has a dominant position and he swings very, very hard with all of his body weight momentum. He breaks through Bowen's wrist again, and I think this is where it pins. No, Bowen holds off a couple of attempts, but it is futile, unfortunately, for Bowen Cantado. He is not able to get his wrist back to a flat position. He was just getting dominated through the strength of Rickard Borman's hand there. Let's have a look at the comments again. I'm sure Bowen has heard it all his life when people find out his last name. Rolling eyes. I think that organization rhymes with ATSI. Okay. Australia should rescue all the best pullers from South Africa. Sounds terrible there, especially for certain farmers. Absolutely. And come on, buddy, says the Drew X's and Hugs says, has Rickard never brought this up? White South African families are dying as we speak. It is a dire situation over there. Absolutely. Yes. If anybody is not aware of what's happening over in South Africa, there is some devastating things taking place. And yes, we would love to see some action taking place from the government over there and even foreign support. But we are very much in support of the people of South Africa and looking to hope that this situation can in some way at least be globally recognized, because there are some devastating things happening over there. And thank you, kisses and hugs, for bringing that up. But we will continue on with the match here with Bowen Cantado and Rickard Borman. And as you can see, so Rickard has moved up 2-0 there. He has got a very dominant victory in the first round, and he had to work for that one, and that was a credit to Bowen Cantado for being able to get his low hand positioning off of the start and then utilizing his strength to be able to catch Rickard and prevent him from getting that cup. So Rickard had to use more sort of weight and momentum as opposed to just his hand and wrist strength. All right, I'll put the sound back on because these guys do some talking and it is some fun.
He's putting back
No, it's not a ref grip.
Oh, no, he's
Put your elbow up.
Yeah, that's
No,
better.
you both do it. Both kicking down.
No, I'm comfortable. No. You can be comfortable, no, but fucking, you can't just lift your elbow up like that. That's unfair. You're doing that the whole time.
Yeah, but you're doing this.
Go on a ref.
So that's how my arm sits,
Go on a
bro.
ref. Shut up. Let's go. Okay.
Can I
Over
touch
pressure.
this?
1-0.
Wait, give me the chalk. I just need a little bit on my elbow.
Alright. Gentlemen, close your thumbs. We're going to close Rickard first.
Well, just before we get to the actual start, so there's a lot of jostling in the setup there, and Bowen not happy with Rickard's rising of his elbow. I think as they were tightening the strap, Rickard may have moved his elbow up, which does sort of give you a better position, or depends. You can manipulate the strap positioning if you're lifting and moving your arm around. Ideally, you're supposed to keep your elbow on the pad as the strap is applied. But Bowen rightfully saying, no, that is not fair, and I am not happy with the strap. And he, in fact, undid the strap completely. Rather than accepting a bad strap, he has said, no, this is not correct. I'm going to put my foot down here, and I will insist upon a restrapping, which is what he got. So we're about to get the start. It is a ref script now, and looks like Rickard is going for his high hand position again, and looks like Bowen again is going for that low hand position. And why shouldn't he? He had success with it for the first half of the last round, where he was able to prevent Rickard from getting that cup. So he's going to go with that again.
Come Rickard's way. Yeah, we're good there.
Oh, he's already cupping.
Yeah, I'll sort it out. Bring that cup out. No movement. No movement. Bit of cup here. He's a straight.
That's over, buddy. Yeah, you know that. You know it. Work hard. The difference is I'm so body. That's it. I love that. That's it. Go. Come on. Give me everything. You've shown hard for this, buddy. Oh, elbow fell, buddy. Elbow fell. Elbow fell. Come on.
You pushed him up.
I forgot about that. Bowen. Oh, anyway to win, eh? That was great. I don't know if you saw that. Let me break that down for you guys. So, I hope you did see that. Anyway, so we've started.
Way.
Down.
Yeah, we're good there.
And I don't know if you can see the framing of both guys, but it does
that cup out.
tell
No
us where. I
movement.
hope we get a side-on view.
No movement.
Yeah, okay. So have a look at the difference in the angle of each competitor here. Bowen looking very defensive off the start. You can see he's leaning towards his own pin pad. He is all in on defense. Rickard, on the opposite, he is looking very offensive. And you can see like Bowen is sort of like this, which means he is expecting a big hit that he needs to contain, and then he's going to roll through. He is not gearing up to hit hard off of the start. That is what Rickard is doing. Bowen with a defensive position here.
Cup here. He's a straight.
Right there, you can see he's in that sort of position where he's like, I need to contain Rickard and then I can attack. But right here, he goes to put pressure in. There's again that little smile from Rickard. His hand is just too strong for Bowen. You can see Bowen trying to move, trying to do something. He's just not able to. Both flat-wristed. Rickard starts putting the pressure on. Good hold from Bowen there. He is still flat-wristed, and he drags his elbow back to the back of the pad, which is a very good move. It allows him to, if he needs to, he can get his shoulder forwards and get behind his hand. You don't want to be at the very edge of the pad here in a defensive position. You can see Rickard's just sort of biding his time here. I think he's playing with his food a little bit. And he drops his body weight here. Bowen holds hard. You see Rickard quite impressed with that hold. He wasn't able to roll through with pronation. That is the strength of the low hand top roll. It is preventing him from being able to cup. So he's having to use all of his side pressure and his body weight momentum as opposed to just pronation, because he can't really get a great cup here. There's a little bit of one there, but it's more he's been sort of pushed into a low hand position as well. But Bowen is in a compromised position with his wrist here.
Over, buddy. Yeah, you know.
Rickard saying it's over. I mean, it is at this point. It's going to be very difficult for Bowen to get out of that spot, especially in the strap. His only sort of option here is to flop wrist and get his shoulder behind and try to flop press, but he's so far away from his hand.
The difference is I'm so body. That's it. I
See
love
that? He
it.
tries to
That's
move.
a
He
go.
tries to get that flop. He tries to do something. Rickard's talking trash to him the whole time.
Give me everything. You've shown hard for this, buddy.
Oh, elbow foul, buddy. Elbow foul. Elbow foul.
Well, pull all the tricks out. Why not? Bowen Katano here, pushing Rickard's elbow off the back of the pad. You're not allowed to do that. He sees it here. He's like, oh, yeah, let's have a look here. What's that elbow doing down there?
Hard for this, buddy.
Oh, he nods there. Yeah, the elbow. Hey, there it is. I'm going to push you off. And then he says,
elbow foul.
elbow foul.
Elbow foul.
Oh, what an elbow foul.
Come on.
You pushed him up.
Like what it is, you pushed him off.
Yeah, go left arm.
I'll go left. Definitely.
Feel like a little baby.
We can afterwards, yeah. Hold on, brother.
I was going to see the end of this.
Thanks, brother. Hey, I wasn't being deep.
No,
I
it's
just
all right,
enjoy that
Good on you.
intensity.
Come on, here, buddy. You've done well. You're a better man.
Fucking awesome, man. Awesome. It was really close. He's low hand. It's just getting into my fingers.
that's right.
So it was close, man. But I enjoyed it so much.
I gotta
Thank you
go
guys
for
so much for
everything,
setting
bro.
this
I gotta
up.
go for everything.
Awesome. Well done, brother.
I've got a smaller arm.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I got a smaller arm, man. I gotta go. Get over it.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thanks, man.
I'm tired, that's sure.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I just couldn't get my cup engaged. It's a lot of my top roll, and if I can't get that and I'm straight hand, it doesn't work out. So, nah, I just gonna have to train that harder for next time. Awesome.
There you go. Interesting to see that Rickard did say that, yeah, his low hand is incredibly strong and that he was finding it very difficult. He couldn't get his cup in. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, the power of the low hand top roll. If you are against an opponent that you know you cannot cup them, they are too strong, maybe try a training, just try the low hand position. Just keep pressure upwards from here and pull downwards here. Squeeze tight like that. They're not going to be able to flex through that. You're going to be doing the opposite to what they're doing. It does prevent you from being able to flex as well, but it may allow you to lock in that position and just sort of turn over. So you're going to throw hard and turn over. That is the low hand top roll. You can see right there, Bowen figured out very early in the match that he was not strong enough to out-cup Rickard. So he has decided to change that, and he has gone with that low hand position instead, which has prevented Rickard from getting that cup, and it did make it much more difficult for Rickard to get through. So if you are against somebody with a very, very strong cup, that is a potential option for you, especially if you're in like a super match, maybe trying one round with it like that. All right, let's catch up on the comments here. Stanley Cup playoffs game number 1. In overtime, Edmonton versus Florida. Trying to watch both hockey and Matt. Well, if they're in overtime, I don't think overtime goes for that long. So they've probably a result already now, Spermies. You pushed him off. Absolutely, you sure did. Jimmy, it's great. You're a fan. Is this the ice hockey, I think? Because the Hug says, what step is AWE? And sure, white people. Sorry, because the Hug, I've addressed that a couple of times now. I'm talking about arm wrestling here. So Benji Nack says, long-haired Rickard. That's right. This is from last year and his match with Bowen Quintano. What do we do to make people... Benji Mack. Great to see you, Benji. Always good to see you in the chat here. He says, I heard somebody say flop, and I'm here now. Here he is, Benji, the flippity-floppity master. Yo, 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 Matt. Or maybe I think I added an extra yo. I think it's just 3 yos. Yo, yo, yo. There you go. I said yo, 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 but it's just yo, yo, yo for those of you playing at home. Benji gets a thumbs up, sunglasses emoji, and a clapping emoji. Drew, my brother, Bob Anderson is here. He says, I would have done the same thing if I was in Bob's position. I'm just glad that Rickard just pinned him, and then they said, yeah, that was a pin. It's like, dude, because I don't know, it's a foul, isn't it? If you push somebody off the back, it's not a loss. Although I think with our rule set, I wrote it in that it's a professional foul, which is an instant loss. I'm not sure if it's the same with every organization out there. Spermies asks Creamy, the Choke Cherry King. What is his ethnicity? Is it Greek? He's South African. Yes. Ethnicity from there? I'm not exactly sure. Bornman? I mean, was it traditionally South African people from the Dutch heritage or something? I don't know. I could be wrong. Atlantis, how you doing? South African. South African is correct. That's what I said. And before that, oh, yes, so there we go. Yeah, I'm not sure. Interesting, Drew. Maybe I will get a chance to mention it. I will. It's still 3-3 in the overtime. Benji Max says, sorry, I'm under-delivering on my yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo-yo- watch it again. Benji says, you post your last grip vid up. Your last grip up. Sorry. God, I read that wrong completely. Benji, you post our last grip up. It should be a short vid. Well, trash talking from the Drew here. Wasn't Benji your first super match ever? A few years ago? Kisses and Hugs says, tell us who you think will win, Rickard or Wallace. I was hoping to get a little bit more information about Wallace today. We did invite Israel Chavez on the show. Unfortunately, he I don't know what's happened to him. He hasn't seen the message. He was supposed to come on and tell us a bit more about Wallace. Obviously, I know about Rickard. I know his style. I know that he's a stand-up gentleman with a fantastic family and a very good athletic background, coming from being a professional rugby player prior to getting into the sport of arm wrestling. He's incredibly strong with his hand and wrist. He has a very, very powerful press, which he has developed over the last year, and he is dominating with that move. And as you could see in that most recent video with Bowen Cantado, he used to do more top rolling, but since he discovered his ability to get his shoulder behind his arm and really lay down an incredibly strong tricep press, he's just gone to the next level. So incredible effort from Rickard Bornemann to continue to get stronger and better. And he is only a 21-year-old young man. So he has the world at his feet. At 21 years old, he's going to be competing against Wallace Dilly at East versus West 18. We're very excited to see it. In terms of who do I think will win, I need to know more about Wallace to have an educated guess or a more insightful guess, but I am hoping, obviously, that Rickard will pull off the win, being one of the guys that I have admired very much for quite a long time. He might be ignoring you. No, he's not. It's fine. I think something has come up, that's all. Drew, come at me first in practice next time so I can make you a short vid. Oh, Benji Mac firing back at the Drew there. Benji was my first match. Yes, it is a grey vid. I don't know what that means. It's a grey vid. What's a grey vid? Halloween party at Brandon Allen's place a couple of years ago, and we gripped up more. We recently gripped up more than a week ago. How was it then? Has Israel recovered from his injuries? He's still in the recovery phase, unfortunately. He had shoulder surgery, and the last time he was on the show, which was not that long ago, maybe 2 months, he was in the rehab phase, and he's been back on the table, but very, very light, very, very gentle. So I think it's going to be still, unfortunately, a few months, maybe six months until he is able to really start pulling hard again. But as I said to him, the sport of arm wrestling will always be there. And it seems to be that the best people in the world are all over the age of 40 for some reason. So he has the rest of his life to compete at the elite levels once he recovers from this surgery. So it's not as if his career has ended or anything like that. It's a setback. Yes, maybe you'll lose a year, maybe you'll lose a year and a half trying to recover from that. But if you can have a 50-year career, that's not that bad of an issue. Sperm is Arthur Cream. He says, my young guy started playing rugby. There are a few Aussies on the team. That's cool. What's a question mark? There are a few Aussies on the team? I don't know. Spermies, it's a team on the other side of the world. But rugby is very popular here as well. I think it's the Commonwealth countries that are very into rugby. So there's New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, England. I don't know if Canada is very big into it, but it is a very fun and interesting sport to watch. There's two different types, union and league. Interestingly, in Australia, it is very popular in the eastern states, and it's not popular at all in South Australia or Western Australia. We don't even have a team. I actually haven't sat and watched the full match of rugby before. It's not on TV here. It's popular in the other states. The Drew has put a link there for his match with Benji the Zombie. Benji Zombie Mac on Benji's channel. Check it out. Great vid. I'll see if I can load that actually, because we'll break it down for you, Drew and Benji, since you're in the chat here. I've got to load up YouTube to get that comment link, because my side of things will not bring it up. So we'll do it that way. We'll go to my channel. This is all in the background, ladies and gentlemen. It's all happening. Things. I can hear myself talking now. That's not good. I've got to wait for the comments to load. I don't know if this happens with you guys, but like I'll load a live stream. The live stream starts playing. It's all good. And then the comments is on the right. It's just a white box for like a minute. It's just nothing. And then all the comments will come up. I don't know. It takes a while to load. It's very frustrating. Spam's Ice Cream, he says, I didn't mean to put the question mark. Sure you didn't. You were asking me if I know if there's Australian people on your son's rugby team. And I don't know. I just don't know, Spermies. India has cricket. What about rugby? I'm sure they have a rugby team, but I have no idea what it is. I don't really follow other sports as much as, UFC big time, and then arm wrestling on top of that. I don't have a lot of time to look at the other sports that are out there to know the ins and outs. India is obviously a world leader in cricket. It was a reft and light battle. Okay, so reft and light, we're going to do that. All right, and the comments have loaded. Here we go. I can click the link that Drew has put in there, and that is the one. Oh no, we've got a zombie on screen. Let me bring it up for everybody to see. It's a Halloween arm wrestling match. Look at that. That's the Drew on the right. That's Benji Mac on the left, apparently. The Drew has a comment here. My first day on an actual arm wrestling table and with actual real arm wrestlers and a real actual live zombie. And Spermies says, ha! Benji Back says, after we both pulled a few people before, Drew is strong and a natural. The Drew says, Matt, wait, are you into UFC? Say it ain't so. Yeah, a little bit of a fan, although I haven't been watching as much recently. But anyway, let's have a look at this match between a real-life zombie and the real-life Drew. So where's the blonde hair, Drew? What are you talking about? That is brown. I don't know what you're doing there. What is this? All right, this is a weird match. This is a reft and light match, and the right hand, I think there's a pin there already. I don't know what is going on with this. The Drew, you got to give your arm on the pad. I don't know what you're doing there. All right, we're getting serious. You see the look on Benji's face? He's doing like a zombie dance or something. This is great. All right, a lot of playing around here, which is sort of fun. The Drew looking like this is his first ever time, so he's probably not sure exactly what he's doing. Oh, he gets the cup off the start. Have a look at that. Look at that smile. Look at that little smile there from the Drew. Oh, I got what I wanted. Oh, no, he's got it again. Oh, Benji's just playing with him, is he? No. A lot of loose wrist stuff here from Benji. What is this face? He's looking. I think he has to keep the mask in a certain angle to be able to see. Oh, the tongue's out as well. Wow. All right, he's flopped here. He's going to try to flop press. Bad position for Benji, really. He's only got fingers to use. The Drew has a dominant position, doesn't know how to use it. Needs to roll with his body and go down. He has everything you would want. First time on the table, he's giving Benji back everything. Benji's sort of sitting there with the flop wrist, playing handsy here. Maybe he just wanted to feel Drew's hand a bit. It's Halloween night. It's like there's an excuse to hold this man's hand. Let's go and arm wrestle, and we'll sit here and what a terrible elbow foul from the Drew. It definitely wasn't pushed off the back by Benji. Look at this. Benji, what are you doing? Oh, boo. We've seen that in 2 matches in a row now, the deliberate push off the back. All right, let's see. We get a restart. I think Benji's having some fun here. He is. He looks menacing the whole time because of that mask. So the Drew getting the position he needs, unsure about how to use it. They slip. They're going to get strapped together. Let's just skip to the actual pool section. Oh, it comes up straight away. I don't know who that is with the hockey mask, but they've got the Jason mask going. Very cool. What have we got going on here? I'm just trying to find the actual match bit. All right. Here we go. Proper one. Is Benji going to just slam through here? No, he's going to flop his wrist, then he's going to get pinned. What was that? What are you doing, Benji? I think he actually tried then. I want to see that again. I think he just laid that down. I don't know. That was weird. Let's have a look. All right, what happens? We get the start. All right, he lets Drew climb and cup. He goes to a flop wrist position and then sort of just doesn't resist. What are you doing, Benji? You have to explain that. That was weird. The Drew very excited, very happy with that. They're going to go to the light hand. We've done the left. Now we've got to do the right. No, I'm confusing myself now about how to say it wrong. I'm getting that incorrect. I'm wrongly saying it. All right. What's going on here? Is this a joke? I mean, obviously, if you're arm wrestling a zombie, it's going to be a lot of fun. He's gone in for the hook. Oh, he's got position, but the Drew able to hold the first hit with his bicep. Look at that. Oh, there it is. Goes inside. Oh, he hits Drew holding with the bicep there. And the second bite at the cherry gets through. So we've got a 1-all, 1 for right, 1 for left. What are we getting here? We're getting a restart for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe there was an elbow foul off the back, but that's all right. We'll watch it again. We'll see if he's going to go inside again. We do. And he gets the pin. What is going on here? This is weird. What are you doing, Benji? Look at this. He gets the inside position. What is this? All right, he gets the inside position, but he gives up 3/4 of his side to get it. By the time he's got the position, his palm up, one of his fingers pointed to the sky, and flops himself to get pinned. What are you doing? And they're going again. All right, what is happening? This is a weird match. All right, let's see. Zombie looking all serious here. I don't know if he's just going to go for the pin or if he's actually more shenanigans are going to take place. So he loses the wrist again. Now he's going to try to flop press. The Drew's... Oh, okay. He gives up on the flop press. He regrips to an actual proper grip. He's like, no, I can't do this. Let me get my shoulder. No, that doesn't work either. Let me just... Okay, I'm just going to cut my wrist and roll through. Good fun. Good fun. Great to see you on the table, guys. And... love the costumes. Well done. Oh, good stuff. All right, let me catch up all the comments here because I'm way behind. Atlantis in real life says, nice you were pulling today, Drew. Oh, here. This is in the sunlight. You will see. I forgot about this. Benji has a good laugh there. The Drew says, I'm smiling because I know Benji flops and I don't want him to slip out. Yeah, absolutely. Benji gonna flop. Oh, is this why you're saying the flop master thing? Okay, yeah. I was getting ready to press. He couldn't take it. I didn't try to elbow foul him. Oh, okay. This is where you pushed him off the back. Yeah. Yogesh Xiaoyun has said something in another language that I'm not sure what it is. But hello to you. Benji Mac, I love your laugh. Well, thank you, sir. It's his first time ever. I know. That's fair enough. Benji didn't expect that. And neither did Benji. Bengi didn't, but Benji may have. But Bengi, he definitely didn't. No more games, says Benji. It was not planned to go left, and my left was a bit burned out already, and Benji is better on left. What about Bengi, though? Is he good on left? We're not just switching sides. We're just not switching sides. It's like, okay, there we go. I blocked Benji's flop. Edmonton has won game one of the ice hockey. That's good for the people of Edmonton. And we've got some Canadian flags up here because Canada is ice hockey mad. I used to live in Vancouver when they had the playoffs against Calgary, the Calgary Flames, and it went to game 7 and Calgary won and everyone was sad. But everyone was happy when they won. The whole city set itself on fire. There we go. You'd pin Benji as well. Oh, I'm sure you would. Now I don't know what Benji Mac actually looks like because all I'm thinking of is the zombie. It would have been bloody hard to have pulled in that. You'd see him, but this trying to see through the mask. That was great. Well done, commitment there. All right. We might wrap things up in a few minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any final thoughts, let me know. We had some fun today. We looked at some of Richard Boardman's previous matches. He does have a match upcoming with Wallace Dilly. Hopefully we'll get Israel on the show next time and we can have a proper breakdown of Wallace's skill set. I did have a look at some of his matches. It does look like, from what I could see, that he is a very strong top roller. But maybe you can correct it. Maybe just been the matches that I watched. I would hate to say, oh, he's a top roller. And it's like, he is a hooker and has been a hooker the entire time he's been wrestling. So I'll wait until we get the expert opinion on that. Benji Mac says he's impressive and not bad for his first time with a 20-pound weight difference. Absolutely. That was fun. It was good. It was I remember that. The fire. What fire? What are you talking about? You'll have to fill us in on the background there. Benji won the costume contest. I can see why. It was quite the costume. He's undefeated. Is that undefeated in the costumes? Maybe it was just that one time. They've never done it again. Tremendous. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was 2 years ago, says Benji. And we've got a smiley face from the Drew. Very nice. Thanks for making my long shift a little bit shorter, Matt. No problems at all, swimmers. I think you're doing the night shift. You said you just started. So, and the ice hockey's finished. So hopefully you can find some other ways to get through the next few hours. But we're very excited to watch the upcoming events. We have an incredible event coming up here with AEWE on the 22nd of June. And that is between Brett Coots and... oh, God, I'm fucking blanking because I'm thinking of too many names at once. It is part of the DFC, the Diamondback Fighting Championship event, and they would be in the cage, in the octagon, and it would be incredible to see these things take place, and we're very excited to promote these events, and we can't wait to continue to bring you more and more arm wrestling throughout the year, and it is going to be an incredible year for arm wrestling. Since I have started the sport 6 years ago, I have marveled at the progression and growth that he has made, seeing it on these huge platforms, people getting paid thousands of dollars to compete in the sport that we all know and love, which is absolutely tremendous. So we're very, very happy to do that. All right, so let me think for 1 second. I just have to check one thing. Oh, there we go. All right. Cool. That is all good. Let's make sure something was on, and it was. There we go. Atlanta says it was a decently timed stream. I'm not sure how bad of a time it is there. It's middle of the day for me. This is all good. Peace says Atlanta's in real life. Benji Max says, I'm glad I could catch it when it's not 3 a.m. Absolutely. There we go. And the Drew says, Dallas Wade too strong. Like, damn, Benji and I couldn't do anything to him, really. And so the match that we have coming up on the 22nd of June, Brett Coots versus Matai Rangi Hetamoris. And it's going to be an absolute war between two gigantic men that will take place. And we will have that footage available. It will be on the AWE channel at some point. But we'll let you know how you can watch it and where you can watch it over the next few weeks. All right, well, we got last comments here. Then he did 12 reps of fat grip pull-ups with 90 pounds after that, Drew. That's an aggressive message there from Benji Mac. Very good. All right. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. Hollywood Matt Connelly, double biceps. Ignore the sweat stains. I've been working hard for you, ladies and gentlemen. And we will finish up with the video that I'm trying to find surreptitiously in the background, sneakily. You would never have known that this was happening. Where's the outro? Is that the outro? No. Is that the outro? No. Is that? There it is. No, that's the wrong one. There it is, I think. All right, let's try it.